The sun had barely climbed over the skyline, scattering warm golden light across the bustling city streets, when Clara Benson wiped the last crumbs from a chipped plate and let out a heavy sigh. The morning rush at the Maple Leaf Cafe had been relentless, a chaotic dance of coffee orders, clattering dishes, and impatient patrons. Clara, 25, with her dark chestnut hair tied loosely and her apron dusted with flour, leaned against the counter for a moment, catching her breath. Life had a way of feeling like this cafe, messy, demanding, and relentless, but she never complained. She needed this job, needed the meager paycheck, needed the semblance of control it offered in her otherwise unpredictable world. As the quiet after the storm settled in, she noticed a sleek leather wallet lying on the floor near the entrance, its gold zipper glinting in the morning sunlight. It was the kind of wallet she had never been able to afford, elegant and obviously expensive. Without hesitation, she picked it up, intending to find its owner. If you believe in the power of kindness and second chances, take a moment right now to like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel Kindness Spark. Clara had always been the type to do the right thing, even when it meant sacrificing her own convenience. Her mother's voice echoed in her mind. Integrity isn't about applause, Clara. It's about making the world a little better, even when no one notices. She studied the wallet carefully. There was no immediate identification, no license tucked in plain view, only a small embossed business card poking out from a side pocket. She tugged it free and read the name aloud to herself. Adrian Crowley, CEO of Crowley Enterprises, a company that dominated the tech industry and was whispered about in boardrooms across the city. Clara's heart raced. A CEO's wallet, returning it could be complicated, or worse, she could be accused of taking it. Yet, she couldn't shake the nagging feeling that leaving it there would gnaw at her conscience. She stepped out into the morning light, clutching the wallet to her chest, and followed the address scribbled on the card. The streets were alive with the pulse of the city, honking cars, cyclists weaving through traffic, and the occasional street performer strumming a guitar on the corner. Clara navigated the blocks with a growing sense of nervous anticipation. When she finally reached the towering glass building of Crowley Enterprises, she hesitated at the revolving doors. The lobby shimmered with polished marble and a faint scent of expensive cologne. She felt painfully out of place in her worn sneakers and cafe uniform, a small figure swallowed by grandeur. Mustering all the courage she had, she approached the reception desk and explained her reason for visiting. Moments later, she was led to a minimalist office where Adrian Crowley stood, tall and imposing, with piercing blue eyes that seemed to weigh every word before it left your lips. He took the wallet from her hands, his expression unreadable. Clara expected a cold, dismissive response, maybe even suspicion, but instead he smiled, small, almost hesitant, yet genuine. "Thank you," he said simply, his voice calm, steady, but carrying a weight of sincerity that took her aback. In that instant, Clara realized she had met a man who didn't just take life seriously. He respected it, in all its fleeting details, from lost wallets to lost opportunities. Clara walked out of that office with a flutter in her chest she hadn't felt in years, her mundane morning transformed into a brush with something extraordinary. But life had not yet decided to reward her for her honesty. The weeks that followed were a blur of late shifts and endless responsibilities, punctuated by fleeting thoughts of that encounter. Then, one rainy afternoon, a sleek black car pulled up outside the cafe. The driver stepped out and asked for her by name. Confused and drenched by the sudden downpour, Clara found herself ushered into the back seat and driven to the Crowley Enterprises headquarters once more. Inside the office, Adrian Crowley greeted her again, this time with an unusual warmth. He had a proposition, a role in his company that he said would align with her talents, her organizational skills, and, most importantly, her integrity. Clara was stunned. She had never imagined being offered an opportunity like this, coming from a world so far removed from the one she knew. But there was a condition. She would have to step out of her comfort zone, embrace challenges she had never faced, and confront the self-doubt that had shadowed her every move. It wasn't just a job, it was a lifeline, a chance to rewrite the trajectory of her life. The transition was neither easy nor swift. Clara's days became a whirlwind of corporate meetings, unfamiliar technologies, and navigating office politics. She stumbled, often quietly retreating to the bathroom to catch her breath or wiping away tears she refused to let anyone see. There were moments when she questioned whether she had made the right choice, whether her small-town grit could survive the relentless pace of a global enterprise. But Adrian never let her falter alone. He offered guidance, not as a superior correcting a subordinate, but as a mentor who recognized her potential and refused to let fear dictate her fate. Over time, Clara began to see herself differently, not as the girl trapped in a cafe struggling to get by, but as a woman capable of far more than she had ever imagined. The story of Clara's transformation spread quietly within the company. Her colleagues, initially skeptical of the waitress-turned-assistant, began to notice her meticulous attention to detail, her empathy, and the way she handled crises with a calm determination that belied her years. Clara learned to navigate boardroom discussions, manage teams, and even pitch innovative ideas to Adrian, who listened intently and praised her insights. But it wasn't just professional growth that changed her. It was the reclamation of her self-worth, the understanding that integrity, kindness, and resilience were invaluable currencies in life. One day, months into her new role, Clara was asked to oversee a community initiative sponsored by Crowley Enterprises, a program aimed